Hi teachers, this is a guidance video for lesson 1.5, unit 3. So unit 3, week 1, day 5 of the middle school ENL standalone curriculum. So this week focused on the Rogoshevsky family and the essential question, how do economic conditions affect our community? Today the students will be working on the data analysis piece of the final project for this unit, which is the persuasive letter or email to their city council person. So the lesson objectives for today are all standards connected to summarize key details and ideas in a text, to examine and convey complex ideas and information clearly and accurately in writing, and to gather information, assessing relevance, and integrating the information into writing. Here you can see the standards right next to it. These are the standards from this week, so if you want to review them with your students to give them a refresher of the skills that they've worked on, that is available. The texts of the week are also there in the bottom of slide 2. Slide 3, rather than a see, think, wonder, where you're asking students to make inferences about a photo, this is an activate the learning. So the students are reaching back from the rest of the week prior to this to tell us what they see, what they remember, and what they wonder. So these are all the data tables that we looked at this week for the Lower East Side and Chinatown. So the economic stress, highest level of education achieved, and are adults willing to help their neighbors. So there's scaffolds right here that they can just fill in the rest of the sentence to talk about what they see, remember, and wonder before you get started on the lesson. On slide 4, you'll see a model. So this is the model for the paragraph that they are writing today, which integrates some of the data points from the week that they looked at. So they'll be using the data from their school community's neighborhood. So that's what they did in the Extend the Learning, which we'll look at now in slide 5. So in order to get students ready to start writing, they can use the Extend the Learning information that they got from day 2, day 3, and day 4 of this week. So there they compared their rates to the Lower East Side and Chinatown based on what the question was each day. On slide 6, this is a sort of note catcher for your students to write down what their sentences were in response to this question. They may not need the information for the Lower East Side and Chinatown. They may just need the percentages for their own neighborhood, but this is just to jog their memory that they've done this already, they've answered these questions, and they are ready and able to write this paragraph. So just down here, I want to call some attention to the note for teachers. So other sections of the profile are going to be covered in future weeks. So definitely only keep the data that they're using in this paragraph to the things that they went over this week, as they might go over other interesting pieces from the profile in future weeks. So 2 options for the students writing. So the first option is a closed paragraph where students would fill in the blank and kind of make it super similar to the model. So almost exactly like the model, just with these different pieces here. So all of the pieces that were bolded in the model are what are blank here. With the exception of, I think, the last part. But the data pieces that were put in were bolded, and now that you can see that they are a blank that students would fill in. The second option would be a checklist. So if you want to give your students something that's a little bit more student-created and less guided, you can give them the checklist. So what did you learn from the community health profiles, and ask them for 2 pieces of data and use the Extend the Learning in other data they may have come across, but try to keep it to the week that we're in. But if there was something really cool that they want to write about from the narratives in the community health profile for what we went over, then they're welcome to do that. And then lastly, the impact. What would happen if action is not taken? So slide 8 has the close option, and slide 9 has the checklist option for the lesson. So 2 ways of delivering the same final result. They will still have a paragraph about data analysis. And if you choose to assign this PowerPoint or Google Slides to your students on Classroom, this is available in the Video Adapted Resources folder for this lesson in Teach Hub. You can just delete the option that you don't want them to do. So if you want them to do the checklist, you can delete the close, and if you want them to do the close, you can delete the checklist. So that about summarizes what students will be doing today and what you will be helping them walk through today. A recommendation is to read the model out loud to them so they have an idea of what it sounds like, and definitely maybe share what you're reading in a persuasive tone of voice so they can hear what the writing is trying to do and what you can do with it vocally. All right, the last part of this lesson, we would love your feedback on this lesson for the design team. So you could scan the QR code or click the link down here at the bottom, and we would love to hear your feedback. So I hope that you get some really great paragraphs from your students for this week, and that you keep up and that your students keep up the awesome work in the rest of the unit.